Hi, I'm Dor, and I'm back with another movie recommendation for you. I do this because I just really enjoy recommending movies to people, and I really love to see the surprised look on their face when they find that they've enjoyed a movie that is 20 or more years older. I love surprising people with the fact that a lot of these movies are actually really good. And some of them are really bad, which is why I also give a drink suggestion that I feel would appropriately go with the movie to enhance your movie viewing pleasure. Alright, so having said that, today's recommendation is Fifth Element. And Fifth Element is a very colorful movie from the 90s, and so, as is appropriate, I chose a very colorful drink to go with this movie. I think you'd really like Mike's Hard if you give it a try. It is hard lemonade, and it comes in a ton of different flavors. I personally like getting the variety packs. This one is the watermelon flavored one, which I really love. So, yeah. And I rate this movie 1 out of 5 drinks, mostly because I don't really think you need any alcohol to enjoy this movie. It's actually a very pleasurable movie without alcohol. Pleasurable movie without alcohol? I swear, this is the only one I've had, and I haven't even had the whole bottle. Anyways, so that's my drink rating. 1 out of 5 drinks to enjoy this movie to the maximum. Now let's dive into the who, the what, the where, the when, and the why. This movie came out in 1997. It was written and directed by Luc Besson, and he had help in writing it from Robert Mark Kamen. Now let's talk about who's in this movie. My personal favorite, Bruce Willis. Before he was this charming stud in Red, he was this charming stud circa 1997. Blonde, not bad on him. Kinda like it. Then we have Milla Jovovich, so it's kind of a little fun fact, at least I think it is. We also have, playing our futuristic baddie, Gary Oldman. Oldman, before he was this guy, was this guy. Wearing a lot of really funky stuff. Alright, and last but certainly not least, Chris Tucker. Chris Tucker, before he was doing several Rush Hour movies, he was Ruby Rhod. This movie is a sci-fi comedy, but it's not one of those super heavy sci-fis that only some people enjoy, and there's like this big weird twist to it. It's science fiction merely because it takes place 300 years in the future, and there's a lot of futuristic stuff in it, including space travel. But the concepts and whatnot are very typical of an action comedy. The world faces imminent danger. It's the year 2263, and the world, as I just said, faces imminent danger from an evil, unseen force, which this force is charging him with getting these stones that are necessary to complete its evil task. Not really sure what it is, but it's unnecessary. Anyways, he's being constantly thwarted by our savior, her, and she is helped out by our unwitting hero, ex-Special Forces turned New York cabbie, Corbin Dallas. Corbin Dallas wins some tickets to go undercover on some pleasure cruise and ends up there with her. And it's fun. It's fun watching them interact. There's some great action sequences, interesting opera. What's really cool is all the different aliens that kind of show up in this, because what is a futuristic interplanetary movie without some really interesting aliens? There's a great scene with an opera singer. I personally am not really into opera, but if it sounded like what she sings in the movie set to the music that it's set to, I would probably listen to it a lot more. One of the things that I love about this movie is it's so timeless. They achieve that timelessness with unique costumes that get out of the Y2K era and just look completely unique. They don't look like anything typically worn in the 90s or early 2000s. The fabric has this weird texture to it that looks almost like they're wearing plastic or kind of rubber pieces, which is really interesting. The weapons look like stuff that you would see in video games or in toy stores, which keeps it, again, it keeps it very timeless. It keeps it us thinking and believing that it is in the future. Another thing that's fantastic is I watched this as a standard DVD on an Xbox One and an HD TV, and my suspension of disbelief was never broken, not once, in spite of the age of the movie. And that's because these things were done practically, meaning they are actors in a costume with a mask and tons of makeup on. There is a little CGI because these guys are actually shapeshifters, which is really cool. And the CGI just kind of cleans it up a little bit, which is great. And that's why movies like this and like Jurassic Park can look so great after 20 years. Whereas so many movies where it's just CGI, they're gonna look dated within 5 to 10 years as the technology continues to improve. So that's another thing I really love about this movie. Chris Tucker is another one of my favorite aspects of this movie. I don't know if you guys like Chris Tucker, but if you do, I think you'll really love him in this. Again, the fact that he dresses so effeminately, he really defies what we view as masculinity, because he still gets all the tail, he's still a total ladies' man, and he's very dedicated to his job in the movie, which, again, I really just love that. I was talking to my friend last night as we were watching the movie, and it occurred to me that this character should probably be really annoying. And yet I just found him really entertaining. I honestly don't think any other actor could have pulled off this character and made him as fun and quotable as he is. So, good job, Chris Tucker. You did it. Excellent job. Another reason I recommend this movie to you guys, and I think you'd really enjoy this movie, is it's a break from the franchises. Oh my gosh. Everything is a franchise right now. Everything has to have sequels, 4, 5, 6, and the sequence, and you can't seem to get away from it, and you think the movie's gonna end, and you're like, oh yes, that's gonna be great, and then you're left with a cliffhanger and a huge ball of dissatisfaction deep in your gut, and you have to wait a whole year to find out what happens. This movie, it leaves you feeling happy. It wraps it up nice and neat. Everything you need to know is right there, presented to you by the characters in this one flick. The music is really interesting and fun music, different from what we see in a lot of futuristic movies, which is another reason I really, really like it. So if you want to feel South Dakota, if you want to feel fulfilled and happy walking away from a movie, I think this is one that you'll really enjoy. So please rent it, buy it. It's worth the buy if you want to buy it, and I'm sure you can find it cheap on Amazon. But please pick up a copy. Let me know what you think about it. If it's something that you've already seen, or if it's something that you're gonna watch, please let me know what you think about it in the comments below. If you have any recommendations that you would like me to do, please put those down there, as well as along with any moans, groans, whines, or complaints. I will read them all. I promise. Just do me a favor and keep it appropriate. Okay? If you like this video and you feel like it's something that you would recommend to other people, please like and subscribe. Don't drink and drive. If you're taking my drink suggestions, please be over the age of 21. Until then, I really hope you enjoy this movie as much as I do, and much love to you guys. I'll see you later.